Today's fix is a styling iron. This thing no longer gets hot, and I'm going to see if I can fix it. So first thing is to see if I can dismantle this and test if this device is actually working. In order to do that, I've got to disassemble it. It looks like this is put together with 4 screws. The trouble is, if you want to call it that, 2 of the screws down here are tamper resistant or vandal proof screws, sometimes they're called. They take a special screwdriver, which I do not have. You can buy these screwdrivers. There's a couple dozen types actually of vandal resistant screws that take special drivers, but they're not really worth having or buying unless you're going to do a number of these. So I'm going to make one, and that's one reason why you keep old crummy screwdrivers around, because you can use old tools, old screwdrivers, to shape and form into other things. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use my micromotor tool and cut a little slot in the head of this old rusty paint encrusted screwdriver. You could do this, you could use a Dremel, something like that. You might be able to do this with a hacksaw too. Just the little micromotor tool I love, I use it for all kinds of things. Perfect. Yeah, works great. And then there's 2 other screws at the top of this that just take a regular jeweler screwdriver. And let's see what we got here. Oh, look at the little electronics here. So it looks like this cord is soldered into the board. So I'm going to plug this in and test for power. If I get power at the end of the cord, then the plug is working. So let's see. Now my cord's unplugged in the wall, so I'm going to plug this in here first. Let's set it up like this. Got to be careful if you do something like this. Got to be careful because that could be a shocking surprise. But this is a good way to do it. Plug that in first, and then I'll plug this in the wall where I'm away from that. Yeah, nothing dramatic happened. Great. All right. So now we'll take our voltmeter and we'll test if we have voltage across the cord connection. And it looks like I do. I've got 110 volts there. So that tells me that this plug is working, because if the ground fault took place, it would kick out and I would not have power across this cord, which then leads to the iron. All right, well, what that means is I got to figure out how to disassemble this so I can test this end of the cord. That's the next step, to see if power gets all the way to this point. So how does this come apart? Let's see. Yeah, we'll pop these caps off. Oh, no attachment there. What about this side? There we go. There's a Phillips screw right there. So let's remove that and see if that'll let me take this hinge section apart. Now this is under spring tension, so I want to be careful that this doesn't snap up and surprise me some way. There we go, there's our spring. So to check that end, it looks like I got to remove these screws and get underneath that cap. Oh, that's an interesting device. Look at that. Aha. Outer contact, inner contact. Yep, I've got power to there too. Okay, so the cord is good if I get power to this point. So what that means then is that somehow I'm not getting power up in here. Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. That red wire has totally broken free. That's not connected to the swivel socket. Ah, well, that could certainly be the culprit. Let me see if I can figure out where that's supposed to connect. So this is delicate work, and all I have is this large old-fashioned soldering iron. I've used alligator clamps here to kind of clamp everything in place and hold it steady. And my little magnifier allows me to see what's going on. Let's see what we can do to add some solder to it. Here we go. All right, let's see. That should have worked. Yeah, it's attached. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to fit this together gently, lay it here, and plug this in. And I'm going to see if looks like we got power or not before I reassemble everything. Plug that in. Now, there's a little on-off switch here. Ah, look at that. I've got a red LED light. Yeah. And they're getting warm right away. Look at that, 142, 144, still climbing. So this thing does heat. All right, so let me turn this off, let it cool off, and I'll reassemble all of this, just reverse the disassembly steps, and we've got a working tool. All right, fixed. Yeah, I'll return this to the owner. I think she'll be quite pleased. Beats buying a new one anyway. You can still buy these. Amazon listed at $55. But hey, nothing wrong with this one now.